Hey guys, Ty C. Miller back here again with some pretty good news about like upcoming music and that stuff. But before we get to that, today is the first day I shaved my face. It's not like I had a very noticeable mustache before, but it was noticeable enough for my sister to start making a couple jokes. So I figured, why not? And it didn't go horribly wrong. I mean, there's like one or two slight cuts. Nothing too drastic though, and I'm sure they're gonna go away real soon. But yeah, don't have to worry about that mustache now. Anyway, back to the good news. I've made a CD Baby account. So yeah. Remember what I said about like me possibly going to like DistroKid and that stuff. I went and did some research. I figured that wasn't quite right for me. So I figured, since CD Baby only like charges you when you like actually release a song or an album, and since you can actually get money from like royalties and that stuff. Did I say it right? Royalties? I don't know. I figured, hey, why not? And now I've made a CD Baby account. So when the time comes and I've actually released the Complication album, expect to see it on Spotify and elsewhere, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, that's not the only thing. The other thing is, if I can get it up right now. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the other thing is I've got most of the track order for the Complication album sorted out. There's go- there's going to be 8 songs, 8 different tracks on the album. I could have went with 6, especially because I already have 6 over here. But I felt that was like too short. I felt like it was short enough to be noticeable by a lot of people. And I also could have done something like 10, 10 tracks, but you know, going into the double digits and all seems like a bit much if you catch my drift. So 8 is still in the single digits, but it doesn't seem overly low like 6. And it is an even number. If I went with 9, I'm sure some people would probably feel a little annoyed considering it's an odd number and also not a multiple of 5. Yeah. But yeah, 8 seems just right. I'm going to go with 8 tracks on the Complication album. So, yeah. Anyways, let's discuss the track order a little bit. If you guys weren't looking there already. But yeah. First track there, Isolated. Second track, Ring. Now, something about this is I was originally going to have Ring as the first track on the album, but I felt like Isolated would be a bit of a better introduction to the album. And also good news about the sorry. Good news about that track. I've actually finished the lyrics. These other songs, their lyrics are still in production, but Isolated, it's all sorted out. The lyrics for Isolated are 100% completed. I don't know if I'm going to do any further revisions, but as of right now, I don't feel like I need to do any revisions. So I'm going to get to work on the further stages of development for that track. moving on, Celluloid is going to be the third track. I feel like this is around the area where this specific track feels right to me to be put here. Showstar goes immediately after it. I feel like Showstars seems I feel like Celluloid seems a bit like closer to the sort of feel that these first two tracks are gonna have than Showstar. I feel like Showstar goes into something a little bit of a different sound, but not too different. It's different enough for Celluloid to be closer to these first two. Martians, Martians goes even further and different. Like, did that sentence make sense? I have no idea, but anyway, Martians is I'd say Martians might be one of the faster tracks in the album in terms of just like how fast words get put out, just like words per what was it? Words per second, sentences per second, words per second. I don't know. Probably that. But yeah, Martians more far apart from these first tracks than Showstar, so I put that ahead of there. Number 6 and 7. Those I'm still on the drawing board on those two. We'll see. And the last track is titled Sophia. And I want this to be the closing track for the album because, you know, the track being about my child, one of my like childhood pets. Don't worry, don't worry. Sophia hasn't passed. She's still here for the time being. But yeah, she's still here. This isn't necessarily about um, a lost pet or a pet who's off in a different place. It's about it is about that moment, but it's about like thinking about that moment, you know. I feel like some of us have had those sort of thoughts at least one point in our lives. If we've had a pet or if we have a pet, we've thought about that, and yeah, it gets you teared up. It's happened to me. And considering this is like more of a one of the more personal tracks in the album, I feel like I feel like it's a good I feel like it's good that this is the closing track in the album. I wouldn't really feel right if this specific track was somewhere around the middle. Because like I wouldn't really be able to think of another track in this album that would suit better for the conclusion than Sophia. All right, so I feel like that's all I've really needed to discuss at this very moment. Sorry, I was thinking of what to say next. But yeah, that's pretty much all the news, all the updates that I have to display at this very point in time. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated when something new pops up in my mind or just like elsewhere. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to really like release I don't really think I'm going to go out and release just the single uh just like a solo song. No, no, no. I don't think I'm going to go out and release uh like a individual single before this album. I feel like I want to stick to albums at this very moment. Maybe that's mostly because I feel like if I do come up with something for a single before that album, it could have ended up being a good song to go with the album. I don't know. But yeah, that's about all I have to say at this moment. Stay tuned. and stay safe.